According to Beyond Celiac, which is a website that helps gain information about celiac disease, in their article, What is Celiac Disease? In 2017, 1 in 100 people in the world have celiac disease. That's about 6 people in the high school alone. That's about 1% of America's population, and it is only increasing. Celiac disease affects those diagnosed and not diagnosed in many different ways. Today, I'm going to talk to you about what celiac disease is, how it is being misdiagnosed, and how restaurants and businesses are changing their ways to become more gluten-free. First, let's talk about what celiac disease is. Celiac disease is an overreaction of immune responses. Villi, which are found in your small intestine, absorb nutrients back into your bloodstream. When someone who has a celiac intolerance eats gluten, such as wheat, rye, and barley, the villi get damaged. And once those villi are damaged for good, they can no longer absorb the nutrients back into your body. According to Beyond Celiac, in their article, Common Symptoms, in 2017, some typical symptoms of celiac disease are bloating, anemia, headaches, migraines, abdominal pain, vomiting, and many more. Celiac disease is considered an autoimmune disease because it can be genetically transferred through families because of a gene that most people do not have, or triggered by pregnancy, infection, massive surgery, or major infection. According to Mayo Clinic, a renowned hospital, in their special report about celiac disease in May of 2015, as the world becomes cleaner than ever has been, we are not immune to the diseases that we used to be, and celiac disease is one of those. Now that we've talked about what celiac disease is, let's go into how it is being misdiagnosed. Over the past 20 years, celiac disease has been misdiagnosed tremendously, and it will only keep growing. Some people believe that going gluten-free will help them maintain a better diet and live healthier. But when people that have celiac disease do not get eat the gluten that they don't need, that could make them malnourished. And when people that don't have celiac disease don't eat that gluten, they miss the nutrients that they need. According to Beyond Celiac, and their myths about celiac disease, gluten sensitivity, and the gluten-free diet, the best way to become gluten-free or to add gluten into your diet is with the help of a doctor and slowly exclude it or include it into your diet. Celiac disease is very troubling to diagnose because there's not a real diagnosis yet. According to Mayo Clinic in their Symptoms and Causes report on July 29, 2017, if celiac disease is untreated, it can cause infertility, lactose intolerance, loss of bone density, and even cancer. Those are just some of the diseases that can be caused from celiac disease. Now that we've talked about how it's being misdiagnosed, let's go into how restaurants and businesses have made their products more gluten-free. According to the National Restaurant Association, an association that makes protocols and rules for restaurants and businesses, protocols are drastically changing to become more gluten-free, such as no longer cross-contaminating from things that are gluten-free and not gluten-free, washing your hands frequently to make sure there's no cross-contamination, and creating a system to know what is contaminated and what isn't. According to Stephanie Strom, a New York Times writer, on February 17, 2014, as the trend of gluten-free becomes bigger, the products and businesses will only likely become more gluten-free. Today I've talked to you about what is celiac disease, how celiac disease is being misdiagnosed, and how restaurants and businesses are changing their styles. One of those 100 people are my friends, Zach, and he's lived with celiac disease his whole life. He says celiac disease is a big deal, and it will only become more of a big deal because of all the people that are changing their lifestyles.